Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Indila podcast. I'm Joey,
And this is Rain.
and today we are going to be talking about the summer and autumn period of 2014 when Indila did many shows and her popularity was increasing in other countries. And she also released a deluxe version of the album Mini World with 3 new songs as well. So, I think, Rain, you were a fan of Indila at this time, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
it was roughly that period of the time. I think I remember being a fan before she released the love story clip.
mhm,
And I think I remember the release of Mon Fol Amour at that time. And it's
mhm.
still one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mentioned last week that she did a concert in Turkey in June of 2014, and just a little more than 2 months later, she was back in Istanbul for I think, a bigger concert at the Swada Club, if I
Yeah.
pronounce it correctly.
S- I think Sueda, I'm not sure.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I remember being a fan at that time, but I didn't know what, like, the idea of a concert. So I didn't made researches about it, and I remember missing the concerts, even while living in Istanbul.
Mhm.
And kind of hurt so bad because I mean, she came here in Istanbul twice, and I missed her twice. But I should have done my research back then.
It's a shame. There were Turkish like fan accounts on like Twitter and YouTube and Facebook. I think one of the members from that fan account actually went to to the Swada Club show, if I'm correct. Well, also in the summer of 2014, she started doing lots and lots more shows in France. Like she did a concert on stage where she was given the Triple Disque de Platine for selling enormous number of albums, and she cried on stage. She was like so emotional. And when I think of this period, one of the things I think about is her concerts in Algeria in August of 2014. There's a video on YouTube where she goes out on stage and says hello to people, and the whole crowd is going crazy. And she says, like, bonjour, salam, namaste. It's like she's kind of going to where she's most comfortable, like going back to her roots and using all of the languages that she knows or that are close to her heart as a child of the world. She also went to Lebanon at this time. Actually, I have a very small personal connection to this because it was the Energy Music Tour in Beirut, and another of the singers who went on that concert and, performed at the same concert as Indila was a boy or man called Conor Maynard, who was a British pop singer who's not very well known, but he went there and he actually went to my school. And I think I kind of remember him. He was a few years older than me. There we are.
And do you remember the concert where she was singing with Patrick Bruel?
Yeah, that was when she sang Lequel de nous.
Yes, L'école de nous.
Yeah, in like 2017, when I was just becoming more and more of a fan of Indila, I used to listen to that song so much. I thought it was such an amazing duet. And I still couldn't really understand French at this point. And when you don't understand a language, it can have a kind of magical feel.
Yes.
Yeah, that was awesome. And how she sings like this, it sounds a little bit like Mongolian yodeling, I
Yeah,
think.
she was yodeling
Yes.
at the end. And I'm not used to her yodeling that much, so it was. I mean, I liked it really. I wasn't expecting her to do that, and it was amazing.
Yeah, and the whole crowd went crazy. And there was also Là où je t'emmènerai with Florent Pagny.
Mhm.
And that was like a very different kind of feel of song, like much slower and more beautiful, but it was, yeah, that her singing there is so gorgeous, especially right at the end when they're singing the chorus together.
And there's another concert. I think it was Si seulement je te retourne. What was
Si seulement je pouvais lui manquer.
Je pouvais lui manquer, yes.
Mhm.
It's really emotional compared to Le Cœur de Nous, and I remember her being so emotional while singing it.
Yes, and she received a another like disque de diamant, like diamond disc at that show, and she cried again.
I thought she was crying because of the song, not the award, because I don't remember it chronologically. Was she crying after the award or during the song?
I think it was when they gave her the award after the concert. But she's she's very good at acting, so you can kind of, I mean, it's not like fake acting. She really gets into it. So when she's performing, it's almost like she starts to
There.
almost shed a tear. Yeah.
So as I remember, there was a festival in France. I think it was called Forêt des Livres. What do you think about it? Because it was so big and there was like also lots of artists participating in it. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought that was amazing because it wasn't a music show, it was a show for books. I think she was the only musician there. So most of the people there were authors and they had written books and they were signing books for people.
I mean, she's a poet herself, so
Exactly. I think that, if I remember correctly, I think that's the name of the award that she won was Young Poet. So everyone was there signing their books and she was there signing copies of Mini World. It's awesome. So she won a literary prize, and I think that that would probably mean quite a lot to her.
and I remember her being interviewed and they asked what kind of tree she would be if she was, and I remember her answering a willow tree. And I think it's beautiful because she also mentioned the willow tree in Feuille D'Automne. And I think we should talk about that song too. It's one of the most underrated songs out there.
Yeah. Yes, I think her reason for being a willow tree is because it's very like modest, like it's kind of, its leaves hang over.
Mhm.
So she's not like a big oak tree or something. She's modest, as we know.
So after she released Mini World Deluxe which had two more songs, one being Ainsi Bas La Vida and the other one being Feuille d'Automne. And Ainsi Bas La Vida is one of the biggest songs in her discography right now. It's really popular, as you know. And I remember listening to it like in 2015, and I was thinking about it, like how people cannot appreciate this song. How is this not popular? And now we see it's everywhere. If you search her name, you could just find Ansi Bella Vida fan edits or
Yeah.
any kind of musical edits.
Ainsi Bas La Vida is a very interesting name because it's a kind of play on words, which Indila likes to do with douce France, uma douce France. But it's a play on words in both French and Spanish here because ainsi bas means so low in French. La vida in Spanish means life. So it doesn't really make sense in French. But ainsi bas in French sounds basically the same as Spanish ainsi bas. Ainsi bas la vida in Spanish would mean that's how life goes. So it's like, this is how life goes. Life goes like that. So an English translation, which I saw on the website Lyrics Translate once, has it as that's how life lows, like kind of like life gets you down, but it continues the play on words. And I thought that was really clever.
That's really interesting
That makes sense.
because I always thought it meant low life, ba being low and vida life. So, but it still makes sense. It's still I mean, her version makes more sense. Now we just mentioned it.
I think it's like life gets you down, but that's how life goes, kind of thing. So, yeah.
I thought it was how life deteriorates,
Hmm.
or not like you get low, but the life. I don't know.
I don't
It's
know. It's interesting. Also, I used to try to, this is like a challenge for all dreamers who are listening. When it's in the kind of bridge of the song where it goes, Ainsi Bas La Vida, Ainsi Bas La Vida. Can you do that with one breath? Because I used to try to do it with one breath, it's so I can't do it.
and about Feuille D'Automne, I think it's really beautiful. I think it's one of the biggest, I mean, longest songs in the album, and I think it was sampled from Canon and D. I don't remember the composer, but
Pachelbel, Pachelbel.
yes, yes. And I mean it's a really um familiar tune, but it still doesn't sound bad, you know, when something is overdone, it doesn't sound good. But this song, I actually love how peaceful it is. And you know, most of her songs it's all about like despair, pain, suffering, but this was the ending song. And I loved how the last song was the most peaceful one because I think it symbolizes how she made peace with herself at the end. And she became like the tree. I mean, for me, she became the tree and everything ended peacefully for me. I think that's how I look at the album. What do you think?
Yeah, I've never actually thought of it that way before, but what you like, I guess you're right. Like right at the end of that song, like the chorus, the lyrics of the chorus changes a bit. And
Mhm.
it's like, under a weeping willow, I've stopped counting the hours, cradled until dawn. Now it's
It's
less cold outside. Yeah, it's that's like the most peaceful lyrics you can imagine, right?
and I've just realized this how she says, I'm cold, am I dying?" in Mini World, like the song Mini World. And now in Fade Autumn, she says it's less cold and I'm cradle until dawn, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, right. Very good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's also such a beautiful song for the season. Like it was perfect for like October or November, this song about an autumn leaf. And of course, she's not the only singer in that song. The chorus is sung by a little girl named Dina, and this isn't confirmed, but I'm pretty sure that this is the Dina who is Indila's niece, who just right now is starting her or really launching her career as Dinovich. Do you have any ideas about that?
I remember you mentioning the little girl, but I didn't have any idea it was Dina, like Dinovich. I mean, you said it wasn't confirmed, but it's still interesting.
Yeah, because I know that she said when she was interviewed on it, when the deluxe version of Mini World came out, she did another week on Skyrock, Planet Rap, and
Mhm.
she says that the singer is a girl called Dina. And I know that Dinovich, who's recently releasing music, she said very recently that she's 21. So you think 10 years ago she was 11, Dina, I think it's her, personally. But we'll see. Maybe it will be confirmed one day.
And I remember seeing a post on Dinavich's account, and she was posting like her little self and Indila in a Skyrock interview, and I think it should. I think that was her, like that sang the chorus.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. It all adds up. Well, we should just say, for people who are not aware, Indila's niece Dinovich has very recently released music, a song called Par balle, which means bulletproof. And it's a really interesting song. It's a similar style kind of to Indila's urban music when she first started out, and we encourage everyone to listen to that.
Mhm.
The deluxe version of Mini World, I think if you're a dreamer, you'll have seen it. It's the famous cover image of Mini World, but it's an artistic version with purple and
Thing.
white background.
Mhm.
And it features not just Ainsi Bas La Vida and Feuille D'Automne, but it also features orchestral versions of Toch niet only and La Story and an acoustic version of SOS. And it features a DVD, which has the three music videos which were released at the time, so Dernière Danse, Toch niet only and SOS, and the accord version of Dernière Danse. It also has W9 home concerts where she sings like her five singles, basically. You know, Dernière Danse, Toch niet only SOS, La Story, and Ran Ran. And it is the most legendary version of Ran Ran that you can imagine, I think. I love it so much.
And the original one, to be honest.
Yeah, it's what I think it's probably how most people discovered Ran Ran. It's certainly how I discovered it. Yeah. And I do think I think that's her greatest concert ever.
And I actually love the concert where she sings Love Story with a kid choir. And do you remember the way she hummed at the end? Like, I cannot mimic it, but she was like, it was like really high octave, like she was really singing high pitched.
Hmm.
It was like maybe 5 or 6 minutes long, and she
Hmm.
had straight hair. It was that concert. No, it was not straight hair. Anyway, it was still so beautiful.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think it's the second most beautiful concert that she had, first being the one that you just mentioned.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's this song that I want to mention once again, and it's Mon Fol Amour, and it was originally made for Aznavour's album. I think it was an anniversary album, and there was lots of artists that were featured in that album as well. I think around like 10 or 15 people, I'm not really sure. And I have listened to the whole album, even while being a like hardcore fan. And after listening to Indila that much, not that much, and I could say that it was the best song on the album. I'm not. I'm being objective. I feel like I'm being objective here. Um, I think the lyrics were written by Aznavour himself,
Yeah,
and I
and
really
Indila wrote the melody.
yes, and I think it was produced by Sculp, but I'm not sure about it. Was it?
I think Scott, yeah.
And I think it's one of the most beautiful songs out there. It's really orchestral, but at the same time, it has this electronic um thing to it,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it's really beautiful. Like every word she pronounces has its own uh like it's I don't know how to explain it. I don't have the vocabulary for it, but it's one of the best songs. And I think there was this interview where she was interviewed with Aznavour, and he said really good things about her, if you remember it.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. He was very supportive of her. Actually, again, when I was first learning about Indila with my friend Nicoletta, who introduced me to Indila, we saw that interview, and it introduces him as like it uses the word parrain, which means like godfather, but it also means just like like patron, like an older guy, an older person who looks after a younger person. So we thought for a while that he was actually her godfather.
I thought that too.
Yeah. But
Until a few years back.
yeah, it just means that he was very supportive of her because she also described Michel Durker as her parrain as well. He was also a guy in the media who was very, very supportive of her and promoted her album. But yeah, he has some wonderful things to say about her. And she has wonderful things to say about him as well. And yeah, Mon Fol Amour, I know what you mean. It's got a kind of like there's like effects on her voice, like reverb and other things, and that you can really kind of hear the
Yeah.
of her R. It's a bit like Edith Piaf.
De nous serrons.
Exactly,
That part.
exactly. Yeah, that's right.
our next episode, we will be talking about Love Story and the concert that she had in late 2014.
Yes. She went again to Turkey, she went to Romania, she went to Bulgaria. We're going
Mm.
to be talking about all of that. And there is a little anecdote, a little story which I have with the music video La Story. So you will hear that next episode. Thank you very much for listening today, and all the best to everybody.
Thank you. See you next week.
Le rêve continue.